Hello friends, this is Reverend Paul Jansen from United Reformed Church in Somerville, New Jersey. This is the weekend of Holy Week, Maundy Thursday, Good Friday, and then Easter Sunday. So I'll be providing a few bare bones meditations for these days. I'll begin on Maundy Thursday, April 6th this year, with the story from the Gospel according to Matthew, the 26th chapter, starting with the 17th verse. On the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying, "Where do you want us to make the preparations for you to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is near. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.'" So the disciples did, as Jesus has directed, and they prepared the Passover meal. When it was evening, he took his place with the 12, and while they were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." And they became greatly distressed and began to say to him one after another, "Surely not I, Lord." And he answered, "The one who dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him, but woe be to the one by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for him that he had never been born." Judas, who betrayed him, said, "Surely not I, Rabbi." Jesus replied, "You have said so." While they were eating, Jesus took a loaf of bread, and after blessing it, he broke it and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." Then he took a cup, and after giving thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will never again drink of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." And when they had sung the hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, "You will all become deserters because of me this night, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I am raised up, I will go ahead of you to Galilee." Peter said to him, "Though all become deserters because of you, I will never desert you." Jesus said to him, "Truly, I tell you, this night before the cock crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said to him, "Even though I must die with you, I will not deny you." And so said all the disciples. Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee and began to be grieved and agitated. Then he said to them, "I am deeply grieved even to death. Remain here and stay awake with me." After going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not what I want, but what you want." Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "So could you not stay awake with me 1 hour? Stay awake and pray that you may not come to the time of trial. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again he went away for the 2nd time and prayed, "My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done." Again he came and he found them sleeping, for their eyes were heavy. So leaving them again, he went away and prayed for the 3rd time, saying the same words. Then he came to the disciples and said to them, Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? See, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Get up, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand. Friends, I can't remember where it was or when, but I remember that a choir sang this chorus. Tell us, Lord, what has happened to us? Where did we go astray? Where did we go astray? I guess no matter what era you're living in, if you're looking for signs of going astray, you'll find them, but an awful lot of folks these days seem to think that we're farther astray than the usual norm. If you agree, you'll want to follow me for a few moments while I churn on this. If you don't agree, well, offer me the indulgence of allowing that at least I might be edging toward good news in the end. Where did we go astray? Well, we're remembering Maundy Thursday, and you likely already know that Maundy is short for the middle part of the word commandment. Maundy, mandatum, mand. It all comes from Jesus' mandate to love one another. Love one another as he loved us. That's a mandate, by the way. We're not asked to vote on it. It is what it is. Do this. Love each other. Just do it. I know I've offered you some of this before, but I take St. Augustine's definition of love as my working definition in its most basic form. Love means I want you to be. I want you to be. I desire your existence. I am even glad for there being a you in this world. Love one another, then desire one another's being. Love your neighbor, then cherish their existence. Love yourself even, then want to be. Truly. Where did we go astray? Well, just to warn you, I'm going to lean pretty heavily into politics for the next few moments, but not as a Democrat or libertarian or independent or whatever. I am going to talk about the health of the polis, of the society, and how we negotiate relationships with each other. And folks, is it any news that we're not doing such a great job of loving one another as Christ loved us? As long as we keep tossing labels around each other like you're an America-hating, lazy, woke pedophile, or you're a deplorable, racist, homophobic, patriarchal, white supremacist in love with your guns, or no middle ground in between, that don't you think it's safe to say that love isn't exactly in the air? I know those are the extremes on both ends, but they're being amplified every day as if they were a poison gas spewing into the air. Unless the valve gets shut off, it's just going to keep filling the air more and more by greater and greater concentrations until it kills us. I don't know if we are better than this. Maybe we've never been, but I know we can do better than this. No one has greater love than this. Do you remember the next part? Jesus said it in the same speech on this night at his last meal with his friends, where he really wanted them to get the point. No one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Back to it. Love one another. Lay down your lives for one another, whether you think alike, or vote alike, or love alike, or look alike, or act alike. Lay down your lives for one another. Not because one of you is more worthy or less worthy than the other, but just because you're human beings made in the image of God. How else is anybody in the world supposed to have the vaguest clue that there was some guy named Jesus 2,000 years ago? It's not immediately obvious. Love like him. Live like him. Look like him. Give evidence of him. Love one another. Look, Jesus knew he had to tell his friends this. They hadn't been particularly good at getting it either, any more than we've shown any level of proficiency in that area. Sure, they argued about who was going to be greatest in the kingdom of heaven, but you have to think they also argued about, well, whose foot ended up in whose face the night before, or why so-and-so always manages to get the tenderest cut from the goat, or why when it was time to pack up and leave, they always had to wait for. They weren't great, the disciples. They weren't especially great at wanting each other to be. Each one wanted to have the coziest possible relationship with Jesus. Heck with the other guys. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not casting any stones when I offer this broad indictment that we're not doing well at loving each other. The disciples didn't do so well either. I'm not sure how high our expectations should be for each other. But I do want to do this, just quite simply. I just want to lay the words of Jesus on your hearts. I'm just going to keep coming to it and just keep repeating. Love one another, love one another. Love the Republicans, love the Democrats, love the rich and love the poor. Love the gay, the straight, the trans, the non-binary. Love the one who looks like you and the one who doesn't. Love the Christians and the Jews and the Muslims and the Hindus and the folks from 15 other religions floating around in our counties here in central Jersey. Love the capitalists, love the socialists, lay down your lives for any and all of them, even though they don't deserve your love any more than you deserve theirs. Could be I'm wrong about where we've gone astray. Maybe lack of love isn't the problem, but I'm pretty sure it's a contender. So if you can, identify just one person in the world. I know you can. Identify just one person in the world who you think the world would be better off without. And now that you've got that person in your mind, want them to be. Desire their existence. Find some way that their being is a benefit to you or to someone else or to God. I know if you do this kind of thing, people will get irritated with you because they want you to not want the same people that they don't want to be. Oh, well, can't answer for that. But on this night, this Maundy Thursday, this is a night for just sticking to Jesus as closely as you can, the best you can for as long as you can, staying by his side, staying awake. And even if you end up leaving him and running away like every last one of the disciples did, he'll still lay down his life for you. He'll still love you. He will still want you to be. And that's pretty good news. To know that God's own beloved Son delights in your very being and beholds you and loves you. Let that sink in before you go down to rest this Maundy Thursday night, 2023. I will have a message for you for Good Friday. You can also be present with us on Good Friday evening at 7:30. We'll have several songs sung by our quartet, as well as a couple of string players, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful evening together. Not a morose or sad evening, even though the content of the night is the Passion of Christ, but a deeply spiritual and meaningful evening in which we remember his gift of love for our sake. Hope to see you or be seen by you. And as always, peace be with you.